is the very first video for Alien Talk with Vance Dykes, which is going to be a new series here on the Vance Dykes channel on YouTube. Now, oh no, I just totally lost my train of thought. The alien sucked out my brain! Ah! No, I'm just joking. I think you can tell by now that I do believe in the existence of extraterrestrials, which I think is the scientific term for space aliens, just like apparition is the scientific term for ghost or spooks or specters, whichever term you want to use. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, at least not officially. As a matter of fact, the only conspiracy theory that I believe to be conspiracy fact that's true is the theory that the assassination of John F. Kennedy, one of our former presidents, was not a one-man job, and that one of the theories that circulates as to why he was assassinated was because he had knowledge that the CIA knew they had documented information about the existence of space aliens, and he was going to release it to the public, and they killed him before they had a chance to do so. We'll talk about that in a future video. Maybe. I don't want to get in any trouble. I exercise my right of freedom of speech. So basically, what we're going to talk about in this video is why I believe in the existence of space aliens. Now, I'm sure that most of us are familiar with St. Thomas Aquinas. For those of you who don't know who he is, he's one of the saints in the Roman Catholic Church. He was a preacher and he was a philosopher who basically taught that by using common sense and logical reasoning, you can actually determine that there is a God. Simply just by looking at things like the trees, looking at the grass, looking at plants, or looking at the mountains, looking at the ocean, and even just looking at yourself in the mirror, just looking at your face, looking at your hands, your fingers, your fingernails, and just thinking to yourself, wow, I was made perfectly. You know, not to say that we're perfect, because we're not perfect, we're all sinful in the eyes of the Lord. Oh, I hope I didn't say anything that was wrong. Well, we'll talk about that some other time. But anyway, just looking around and seeing all this stuff and seeing how everything was so wonderfully formed, you think to yourself, there is no possible way that all of this could have happened by chance. You know, there is no possible way that one big explosion could have created all of this, that could have created all the planets and all the galaxies and everything that's in the universe today. There's just no way. And sustain them. So that's basically what St. Thomas Aquinas taught, that by using logic and reasoning, you could reason that there is a God who not only created the universe, but also, to this day, sustains it. And using that same logic and reasoning, I determined that there could possibly be space aliens. And basically, using this logic and reasoning, I think about this for a minute, and I want you to think about this too. Think about it. We live in a big universe that's filled with not just one planet, which is, of course, our planet, Earth, but we live in a universe that's filled with so many different galaxies, that's filled with so many different planets, like our Milky Way galaxy, the solar system. It has all these planets, not just Earth, but Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter. And even though science, you know, we've been taught in science classes and all the years we've been in school that certain planets are just not fit to house life, like Mercury and Venus. But science over the years has proven that there are other planets. At least, it wasn't too long ago, I saw an article on Yahoo that said that they did discover a planet somewhere in the universe that's kind of similar to Earth. Only on one side it's always nighttime, and on the other side it's always daytime. I forgot what they named the planet, I forgot the details, but I saw it. If you want to look it up for yourself, look it up on YouTube. Look up, like, the second Earth, or a planet similar to Earth. You'll probably find it. But anyway, so I believe, speaking as a Christian, you know, well, first of all, you know, the Bible doesn't say anything about the existence of aliens. That's something that people like my grandmother will say. If there were aliens, the Bible would say so. Well, you know something? The Bible doesn't talk about the existence of dinosaurs, and yet science has proven that there were dinosaurs that lived millions, if not billions, of years ago. But you know something? The Bible was not given to us to teach us what is real and what is not real in terms of all other forms of life that's out there on Earth or in the universe. You know, the Bible is not given to us to teach us that there is no aliens, that there is no Bigfoot, there is no Loch Ness monster or whatever. The Bible is basically a moral guideline. It's basically given to us to teach us how to live great lives as Christians. Well, maybe not so much great, but just how to live righteous, holy, and moral lifestyles. And that's pretty much what the Bible was given to us for. And to teach us the way to eternal life, which of course is through Jesus Christ. And basically, you know, what I was trying to get at was that I just can't imagine why God would create a whole universe that's filled with so many different planets if he only had one in mind, the planet Earth, to house life or to inhabit life. You know, even though of course science may have already proven that some planets are not fit to house life, you know, but I still believe it's possible. I still question this. Why would God create a big universe filled with so many different galaxies and so many different planets if he only had one planet in mind to inhabit life? And that's something that I want you to think about. Another reason why I believe in the existence of extraterrestrials was because I remember watching an episode of Monster Quest when they were talking about the lizard monster, or the lizard man. And basically it was supposed to be an extraterrestrial being that has a lizard-like body from the top of his head to its lower torso, and the bottom half is supposed to be like some sort of spacecraft or some space engine that he floats upon, which I think is very interesting. But while they were conducting their investigations, they've done a documentary talking about how they found this unusual skull somewhere in Latin America, I think maybe in Mexico, that's unusual, and after some scientific research, they discovered that even though its mother was human, they still couldn't figure out whether or not the father was human or not. And after some more scientific research, they found that there's a lot of unusual features in that skull than the normal human skull. And also, when they did a little molding of what it could have looked like, what it looked like before it died, they came up with this amazing alien-like head, alien-like face. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, that's amazing. Look it up if you get the chance. It's called The Star Child. So, with The Star Child and with my logic and reasoning, thinking about why God would create a whole universe with many planets if he only had one planet in mind to house life, not really making much sense to me, that's pretty much the reason why I believe in the existence of extraterrestrials, otherwise known as space aliens. So, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and God bless. I hope I was able to give you some information or some food for thought. Adios.